Hi everyone, I'm FM Greeno and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So here we are with our relatively new truck, which I've already had to take in for a little bit of a repair. Minor ding. I'll tell you a little bit about that once we're out on the road again. So I've done a couple of jobs since we were last together. We obviously finished up in Katowice in Poland last time. And we've now made our way back into Hungary once again. We're down in Szeged, which is down close to the sort of southern border with Serbia. So we're going to try and find a job starting in Szeged to take us somewhere else exciting. So I will head to the job market and see what we can find. Oh, this is a pretty cool looking one. A yacht. So we drive that all the way through Hungary, touching into Slovakia briefly for some reason, not quite sure why, and then all across Austria. So that'll be pretty much what we're looking for. Pays almost 25,000 euros, which is nice. Yeah, we'll go for that one, I think. So, unlike the quick jobs we were getting before, where we were basically put in the destination where the job started from, I just have to start from where I finished and have to go and find where the other delivery has to be picked up from. Now, in some of the bigger towns, that can be quite a long way away. The last one I stopped in Bratislava, I think it was, and the first delivery was one side of the city, and the pickup for the next one was completely the other side and was about a 60-minute drive. So you have to be a little bit careful of that, but it looks like this one is pretty close. Now, I have just noticed there's another one of these question marks just to my right.
Turn left.
So I think I'm going to go and check that out and see what we have here. It's always worth having a look at these when you're in a city.
Rerouting.
They'll either be dealerships for trucks, or potentially they will be recruitment agencies for drivers. All things that are really helpful
Let's find a new route.
later in the game. So
Turn
let's
right.
go and check out what this one is. We can add it to the list. Ah, there we are. We've already discovered it's a Renault truck dealer. Let's hope there's nothing here for me to crash into. There isn't. So there we go. So we've picked up a Renault truck dealer. Okay. So let's go and find this job, pick up our yacht, and get underway. Well, by the time I got to the pickup point, that job was no longer available to take that yacht up to Salzburg. So we're having to have a look at what other jobs are around. So we could take some chocolate up to Prague, or we can take some tyres to Milan, or some pet food up to Frankfurt. So this tells you obviously how heavy the cargoes are as well. So maybe the pet food up to Frankfurt might be an idea. Although we haven't been into Italy yet, have we? So why not do that? Let's go to Milan. Okay, so we're now in a position where we can hook the truck up and get underway. So let's get out of this yard and start making our way up towards Budapest. So we're just leaving Szeged now. The rain has started to fall, unfortunately, which is going to make the drive a little bit less fun, I suppose. But it is what it is. So we will get out onto the highway. Like I say, we're first sort of big place on the way up will be Budapest, and we'll head up towards the Vienna kind of direction.
Get ready to turn right.
And yeah, back through the Alps, I suppose, then. So that'll be quite a fun drive, I guess.
Turn
As you
right.
can see, we're pretty low on fuel, and we could do with a sleep at some point. So we'll have to be mindful of that. Get on that shortly. Just take this bend. It's quite a tight one. We'll just scrape the trailer a little bit It's not our trailer, is it? So, not the end of the world. It's the cab I'm worried about, because that belongs to me. So we're on the highway now. As you can see, on the, just above the sat-nav anyway, we now have a red fuel pump. So that means we kind of need to find a petrol station, and sharpish. Obviously don't want to run out of fuel. So that's the first priority, and when we do that, we will probably take a rest as well. Part of the problem I had with the truck when I had the little ding was that I was driving it very, very tired. The bed also goes red when you're absolutely shattered and you really need to stop. And unfortunately, I tried to get to the end of a job and didn't quite make it before that happened. Thought I could just about make it, but unfortunately the reflexes of the driver get worse the more tired you become. So unfortunately we came off the road a little bit and dinged the truck up a little bit. Only, I think it was about 5% damage, so nothing significant, but enough to cost me €3,500 to get it fixed, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, there we are. These things happen, I suppose. So I'm going to try and be a little more careful about that sort of thing from now on. I noticed there is a fuel stop just up here on the right hand side. At least I think it's a fuel stop. I hope so. If it isn't, we're in a spot of bother. Yeah, there's fuel there. So we'll go and fill up now and take a little rest and then get back out on the road. So we got the fuel. We've had a sleep. And that's taken us through till about 20 to 10 in the evening, which again means another kind of nighttime drive. The rain didn't stop while we were sleeping, unfortunately, so that's still going to be a little bit of a problem. Is this guy going to stop and let me out? He has. That's very handy. Thank you very much. Yeah, so again, unfortunately, best laid plans and all that. Wanted to show you a bit of Hungary again as we scoot round Budapest and the road up towards the Austrian border, and unfortunately it's going to be in the dark, so not ideal, but there we are. Anyway, we'll press on and yeah, come back when something interesting happens. Lights would help, I guess. Light ding again. Slightly misjudged a corner. Couldn't see where I was going in the dark, unfortunately. So, yeah, that didn't exactly go to plan. But only 1% damage done this time. Okay, so we just hit Budapest. And we're actually going a slightly different way to the way I expected. I thought we'd head up towards the Austrian border. On the sort of Vienna road and then cut across Austria that way, but it seems we're going across southern Hungary now to Pécs.
Go straight on.
And we'll sort of scoot along the southern part of Austria into Italy, I suppose. So yeah, not the way I was expecting to go, but it's the way it's taking us. You'll notice on the sat-nav, by the way, it's quite a long drive, this one. We've still got 13 hours and, well, 13 and a half hours, roughly, of the drive left. Which is quite a long way. So I'm guessing we're probably going to have another rest at some point on the way. I'm not sure if there is a set time this job has to be completed within or not. But having 2 kips on the way is probably not ideal. But we will see. At least that means, though, we'll be taking a bit more daylight in at some point. It's not going to be for a while, though. I mean, we're coming up to midnight now. So I guess we're probably going to drive all the way through the night
Keep right.
until the sun comes up, and then it'll be time for another sleep, I suppose. We'll see. Got a speeding fine. We had to slow down here to 50 and I didn't spot the sign. That's a shame. I guess this is where the border is, perhaps? Yeah, I think I can see some flags ahead there. So, 820 euros that fine was. That's a fair chunk of change, isn't it? So, we are just leaving Hungary and heading across the border into Austria. There we go. We are now just about in Austria. There we are. As you can see, the weather is taking an even worse turn. We've had thunder and lightning for about the last hour of the drive, I guess. Which, with nighttime driving, is not brilliant, it has to be said. It makes it quite difficult. But we will plod on. So we're almost at 5 AM now. As you can see, the sun is starting to come up. And the rain has thankfully stopped. So overall, it's a lot nicer conditions to drive at the moment. You can see the tiredness gauge is pretty full now. I'm going to try and give it maybe another hour or so before thinking about stopping if I can. Get within sort of the... certainly below 8 hours anyway. Closer to 7 hours left of the drive. So that we won't encounter the tiredness again. That would be an absolute disaster if we had to stop once again because I just stopped too early. But yeah, I imagine Austria at dawn is going to look pretty nice. So I'm going to enjoy the next hour or so of driving if I can. Then take a rest and it'll be daylight pretty much all the rest of the way, I would have thought, all the way into Milan. And we reach yet another border. Not slept yet. We'll be doing so shortly. But we have just made it, for the first time in the series, into Italy. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Beautiful scenery around this part of the world. As you can see here, mountains and there's lakes around. I've seen a couple of lakes so far. Lots of nice sort of forest and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a really pleasant part of the world to be driving around at the moment. Like I say, as soon as we find a rest stop now, we are going to be taking the opportunity to stop and have another sleep. So you can see just down to the right hand side there's a lake down in there, which is pretty spectacular with the mountain vista in the background. Like that a lot. So, got to be a little bit careful with the fines I'm racking up. I just picked up another 400 euro speeding fine. I wasn't speeding by very much, it has to be said, but there was a police car right behind me in a tunnel. So, yeah, he stopped me. Well, didn't stop me, but he gave me a 400 euro fine as we were going along. So, yeah, overall, that's just over 1,200 euros on this drive so far, with 7 hours of it still to go. So, obviously, the next goal is going to be to expand the garage in Leipzig a little bit. We only have one space in there at the moment, which is for this truck. And obviously, the goal is to hire more drivers and buy more trucks. So we need space to keep those trucks. Now, the garage upgrade is quite expensive. It's about 180,000 euros. And that's then, obviously, we have to then go out and buy a truck and hire a driver. Hear my guy yawning there, telling me he is tired. So, yeah, all in all, we need about 280,000 euros. Now, right now, I've got 44,000 in the bank, and obviously whatever we pick up on this job. What I did hear from Zilla Blitz is if you get a bank loan of around 100,000 euros, the repayments of that aren't that high. So, I probably will do that once I think I've earned enough to upgrade the garage. I'll probably do that myself. Then we'll borrow the 100 grand from the bank and use that to go and buy a truck for the first driver. So we'll get a fairly basic one, I guess, and give that to him or her. Who knows? Could be anybody. So yeah, so that's the plan. But first we've got to earn enough money, which means I've got to stop racking up fines. So finding somewhere to stop has become a lot more urgent. You can see that little bed icon has turned red. So it tells me you are getting tired. You should find a parking place to rest. I can't see any on the sat-nav yet. So we have to hope and pray that we don't fall asleep at the wheel. You can't just pull off to the side of the road, obviously. You need to find a proper place to stop. So yeah, fingers crossed, it's not too far away. Well, that got a bit close for comfort. We had to drive quite some way with that bed icon showing as red. Finally, we managed to find a petrol station on the motorway here and managed to get our head down. But yeah, I don't think we could have got much further without falling asleep at the wheel, to be honest. Fortunately, while we were asleep, it started blooming raining again. We've got about 5 hours left now. It's coming up to 6 PM, so I guess 2-3 hours more daylight, and then we'll be back into night time again. So it's definitely been a long old drive, this one, hasn't it? Yet another speeding fine. Just about clipped 10 mile an hour, or 10 kilometers an hour, sorry, over the motorway speed limit, and that seems to be where it kicks in. So yeah, what was I saying about being careful about fines? So that's about €1,600 so far on this drive. Jeez. So we are just entering Milan now. You can see our destination on the sat-nav there. There we are, Milan discovered. So that's our first Italian city, which is pretty cool. Obviously, we're not going to be seeing the sights today. No chance to go shopping in the high-end couture shops. It's a little bit too late on a Sunday night for that. Not that I imagine my truck driving character is that interested in such things.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Yeah, we are almost there. We've got, what, 1 kilometre left. It's literally just round the corner here. It's been quite a challenging drive, this, and by far the longest one I've done. I mean, even just in terms of game time of playing, it's taken me an hour and a quarter. So it's been a lengthy old thing. And pretty challenging conditions in the most part too. Obviously we've had a lot of nighttime driving and lots of rain and storms and stuff along the way, so yeah, it's not been the easiest, it has to be said. But we've made it. A little bit lighter in the pocket than I would like to be, it has to be said. With those fines. Oh, we've just found a Scania truck dealer. That's pretty cool. We're actually delivering to them. Maybe we are, because it's truck tyres, isn't it, that we've got on the back. So that's pretty fortuitous. We're actually delivering to a truck dealer. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And I think we'll just take a nice simple, I say simple, it might not even be that simple, parking job. Where are we off to? Just off to the right here. So, I mean, that's going to take a bit of doing, I think. Obviously, we can't just swing it round because there's a fence in the way there. So I think we're going to have to kind of come in and back up a little bit into it anyway. Which is not ideal if you've seen the way I back anything up. It ain't pretty, let me tell you. So, as you can see, we're not going to get given the parking on this first attempt here. That's for sure. We are miles away from it. But, if we can get the trailer straightened up enough to back it into the space. Wrong way, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. There we go. Even if I miss it here, as long as I can get it back in a reasonably straight line, I'll be able to just drive it straight back in. I think it's probably going to be my plan. I want to take out their sign. I don't think that will go down too well. Oh, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Okay, so now with a bit of luck, I should just be able to pull this in and finish the job off. Oh, that wasn't the simplest of simple parkings we've been given, was it? Normally it's literally a case of just driving in a straight line. But that one was a little more challenging. I'm not even sure it's going to give it to us this time. Oh, there we go. It has, thank goodness for that. So that's the job complete. We have made it all the way to Milan, made the delivery. Ended up with nearly 27,000 euros. Halfway through level 11. Obviously minus about 1,600 euros for all the fines that we got. But there we are. Such is life. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, it was quite a challenging drive for me. But yeah, hopefully there was plenty going on for you to enjoy. A tiny little kind of crash. Lots of speeding fines. Plenty of incident. If you did enjoy it, please drop a like on there for me. Of course, that helps me get seen by more people. And if you've got any comments about today's episode or how you think things are going so far, I would love to see them in the comment section below. And don't forget, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, click on that button and come and hop on the Greenobus. There's plenty of room for you all. Just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for some more action here with Euro Truck Simulator 2. Bye for now.